It's no shock that over the past couple of years, Marvel has been in decline. So much so that it has a lot of fans wondering what went wrong with it. Phase 4, for the most part, was a complete mess, and the beginning of Phase 5 has started off with a disastrous first step. Well, it looks like all of the MCU's mediocre to trashy content has caught up to them, because the Marvel is set to have the lowest box office projection in the history of the MCU. And it turns out that Brie Larson might have been serious when she said this in an older interview.
Marvel for?
I don't know. Does anyone want me to do it again?
Don't be so modest.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Nice Frank here, and welcome to my 460 subscribers. I hope you're having an incredible day, and if you're not part of that 460 subscribers, it's alright. I hope you're doing well too. The Marvels, the latest film in the much anticipated MCU slate, and there is so much hype to this film that it will have one of the highest box offices in the MCU history, even surpassing the first Captain Marvel. Oh, wait. Looks like that's not the case, but who would have thought that making a movie of an unpopular character teaming up with another two unpopular characters from a Disney Plus show would be a good idea? This article here by Deadline says the Marvel is heading for $75 to $80 million opening, roughly 50% lower than Captain Marvel 3-day early box office look. Disney's The Marvels hit 4-week lead tracking with a $75 million to $80 million. The Nia DaCosta directed movie opens on November 10th. That start is roughly 50% below the opening for the first Captain Marvel movie, starring Brie Larson, which posted a 3-day of $153 million. This projection is down from the long-led tracking's $90 million figure 2 weeks. Why the fall off? Let's be honest, as we've overwritten, it doesn't help to have a tentpole yeah, right, out during a strike. Okay, well, listen, I would say yes, it's not helpful if it was a typical movie, but I mean, this is a Marvel film, and all of their actors like to be, well, not all, but most of their actors like to use their character as a stage for their activism. So let's be honest, this is probably a good thing. Further down here, it says other critiques that the campaign was launched later than the Marvel's campaigns that went out pre-pandemic, which would typically drop 12 weeks in advance. Also, some sources telling us that the audience aren't connecting the Captain Marvel IP to the two characters in the franchise which starred in Miss Marvel and WandaVision. Well, yeah, you're making a movie now where you have two characters that are in Disney Plus shows, and both of which not as many people have watched those shows. You can argue maybe more have watched WandaVision than watched the Miss Marvel, but that's still a minority compared to the amount of people who've actually seen the movie Captain Marvel. We're told that the Marvels is well below the top performing MCU titles among men under 35 and much closer to Ant-Man in the demo. Current comps are also against Thor, Black Adam, and The Flash in men and women under 35. Captain Marvel is pacing behind Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness in overall interest. Nobody cares, man. People aren't interested in this character, and whether Disney Marvel wants to admit it or not, superhero fans are primarily men. Obviously, that's not to say women aren't fans, of course they are, but the number of men outweigh women on this in general, and when you start to push your over-the-top feminism agenda and modern-day girl bosses, your main audience checks out, and that's not even mentioning how horrific and clueless the people behind the scenes are when making these films nowadays.
It's definitely a case of me just not knowing what to do with the script.
Now, when Captain Marvel came out, a lot of the advertisement for this movie was that you needed to see this if you wanted to understand what will be going on in the next Avengers films. And that was just a bold-faced lie. You could have skipped that film and gone from Infinity War to Endgame. It would have made complete sense. Captain Marvel had the privilege of being set in between two of the biggest MCU films ever, and that's why it made the money it made. Not because people were super excited about Captain Marvel, because when people went out to watch it, there was a lot of division and backlash to not only the character of Captain Marvel, but also to Brie Larson's comments, and apparently it looks like she's done with Captain Marvel and doesn't want to return. Brie Larson reportedly disillusioned with Marvel role after toxic backlash. Now, she's gotten this backlash due to her ridiculous comments and her trying to use this role as a stage for her activism, but people also didn't find her character to be interesting or likable. Now, that's not to say that's Brie Larson's fault, that's just terrible writing. But instead of Marvel listening to criticisms talking about how stale Carol Danvers' character is, they instead try to come out with headlines saying you're toxic sexist if you don't like Captain Marvel and other garbage. So they end up doubling down and moving forward without fixing anything, and the mess has just gotten so big it doesn't fit under the rug anymore, and here we are. According to a new report, Brie Larson may have become disillusioned about her Marvel role thanks to toxic backlash from fans. Larson, who is set to lead the Marvels as Carol Danvers / Captain Marvel, has faced her fair share of critiques since joining the superpowered franchise. For better or for worse, the comic book movie genre / popcorn franchise entertainment has become look at this. They're blaming trolls. Okay. All right. All right. Well, there it is. In Larson's case, much of the criticism has come from, as her MCU co-star Samuel L. Jackson once put it, people who hate strong women, with sexist comments being made about her hero, the movie she stars in, and the actor herself. Listen, they mentioned the toxic fans or the sexist fans in this article as a reason for her not wanting to continue, and I agree to an extent. Are there people hating on it just to hate on it? I guess, but I feel a lot of people just thought the movie was trash, and the character of Carol Danvers was poorly written. People don't mind strong female characters. Look at Ellen Ripley, look at Sarah Connor. But if you want to go into the superhero side, Wonder Woman and Black Widow were all strong female characters that people didn't have a problem with. Now I understand that Wonder Woman's second movie was not well received, and Black Widow's movie actually had some hype until it came out and it was just as terribly written as, any other film was. But people don't have a problem with strong women like Samuel Jackson says. They have a problem with how they write these women and how terribly these films are that they just so happen to be in. And this is just the point it's gotten to. Marvel is in a ship that has been sinking for a while now, and it's only a matter of time before it's completely submerged. Is there any way to fix Marvel from this point? I think there is, but not without some serious changes. And I love superhero films, and I always want to see something entertaining, and it looks like Disney Marvel has lost sight of what drove people in there to see their films to begin with. Good storytelling and well-written characters. And unfortunately, Disney Marvel can come up with any excuse that they want, but in the end, their undoing will be self-inflicted.
It's not about money, it's about sending a message.
Anyways, that's it for now. What are your thoughts on this whole The Marvel situation? Thank you all for getting this channel to over 400 subscribers. That is crazy. You all are amazing. If you like the video, and if you like this kind of content and want to see more, why not consider subscribing? Thank you all again for watching, and until we meet again.